What you need to know about Los Diablos de la 42, a subcadre of Venezuela's feared Tren de Aragua gang operating in the Times Square area. 1. Some of the members of this crew are as young as 11. 2. They've been involved in 50 incidents, including gunpoint stick-ups. 3. Thanks to a combination of terrible criminal justice laws in New York City and the open southern border, which comes to us courtesy of Vice President and current Dem presidential nominee Kamala Harris, they are here and are staying here and are walking free as a result of a perfect storm of terrible left-wing policies.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Mr. Dr. Menace. Let's get into the illegal aliens taking over New York. With the illegal alien gangs recruiting kids that are as old as 11 years old to terrorize the city. Let's go.
Enforcement officials are keeping a close eye on gang-related criminal activity all around the city. The NYPD's Detective Bureau is tracking the dangerous Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. It's made up of young migrants, some just 11 years old, and believed to have arrived here in New York during the migrant surge.
Well, police say their crimes are becoming more brazen. The members even posting their weapons on social media. I mean, look at this picture. This is crazy.
What the fuck are you even doing here?
To stop you, the incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border? Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be.
So when you're this young, you either join the gang, you're by yourself, you're going to get your ass whooped if you don't. So it's like, either way, you're screwed. Just, you might as well join the gang. And dude, kids being kids out here, and imagine being able to commit all the crimes that you want and not get in trouble. What reason do they have not to join these gangs? I don't see one. If I was them, I would join them. I'm going to get a paycheck from the government. I'm going to get a food stamp card from the government. I'm going to get free housing. And then I can commit all the crimes I want and not have to go to jail. They get arrested, they're out the same exact day. You get every cheat code as an entitled illegal alien. You can do whatever you want. You have God tier rights as an entitled illegal alien.
Right now, what we have, I like to call a perfect storm of sorts, where we have individuals tremendously brazen, absolutely ruthless, individuals that have committed a multitude of crimes with basically no repercussions. So what started out as a robbery crew, upwards of 50 robberies, 20 individuals arrested for upwards of 50 robberies, and out of those 20 individuals, every single one of them is on the streets today. So
that's crazy. Now, there are reports that they're operating the Roosevelt Hotel, which used to be a very nice hotel in New York City. Now it's a migrant shelter. What are we talking about? What's going on inside this hotel that is now spilling out into the Times Square area?
Yeah. They're getting arrested for violent crimes up to 10 times and still being let go. No, they're not deporting them. Why wouldn't they just deport them? Seriously, 11-year-olds with guns.
Did anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
So how are they getting these guns? Okay, so they already had the FBI raid the shelters and cleared all this stuff out, and they had gotten information that the Venezuelan gang members work for the food companies that bring in the food to feed all these illegals. They are putting guns in the huge crates of all the foods, so that's how they get the guns to the illegals, and that's why they're inside the shelters. Because they're not bringing them in. They had metal detectors out front of the shelters. They're bringing the guns in through all the services that come through. They're either paying these people off that aren't gang members and just being like, yo, here's 10 grand, drop 50 guns off in there, 10 bricks of fentanyl. You're basically like our DoorDash driver. You're our gun dash driver. Don't forget you're paying for all this.
I mean, there's actually a recruitment process, and this is the first time we've seen structure with Tren de Aragua. Formerly, it was kind of scattered all over the place, but now we're seeing that structure where there's actually kick-ups, where people are recruiting these younger members as young as 11, and they've been described in some of these robbery incidents as young as 8 years old. And when they're arrested, like I said, virtually no repercussions. You know, we know at a minimum they have access to guns. Why? We see the posts on social media. We know they've, at a minimum, committed gunpoint robberies.
Now think about this. They're also calling out Latin kings. So put that all together in the middle of Times Square, it's a recipe for potential disaster.
Is this focused on Times Square?
It is in and around Times Square. I mean, the crew's name, Los Diablos de la 42, the 42 stands for 42nd Street. So that's their threshold. That's where they feel comfortable. That's where they post their social media.
By the way, what is it, the Devils of 42nd Street?
The Little Devils of 42nd Street.
So are you talking about two different gangs here?
It's actually a subset of Tren de Aragua, and it's the first one we've seen of that type, and it's the first one that we've seen call out oppositions, and that's our concern.
These young kids are calling out the Latin gangs, right?
Yeah.
These are the Venezuelan gangs.
Yes, we do believe there's a spillover from Venezuela where a homicide did occur. So this could be the continued beef from Venezuela. Tremendously concerning, but that could ignite the fire. We're on top of it.
Anybody that knows anything about gang culture, this was inevitable. You literally imported another gang in the heart of a city where that is being ran by an opposite gang. It's called opposition. You just implanted ops for the gang. You gave them a reason to turn shit up even higher now. Turn the violence up higher, crime, robberies, everything. So when you import crime, it's going to cause more crime. Remember when Times Square in New York was a tourist destination? Yeah. It wasn't like that before Giuliani. Before Giuliani, just another cracked out city. You go there to get robbed. Giuliani came in. He cleaned that city up. He cleaned it up, made it a tourist destination. They brought in probably billions of dollars from tourism once Giuliani cleaned it up, because word of mouth travels fast. Hey, it's clean. It's clean. It's safe to go to New York. Let's go. Everybody wants to go to New York. It's like everyone in the entire world knows where New York is and wants to at least go there at least once in their life. So now it's just back to, if you want to go there, and if you want to go to Times Square, you're basically just asking to get robbed. Good luck getting robbed by illegals that you're paying for to be here. It's the same exact spot where those illegals beat those cops up, were arrested, taken in, and let go the same day. Thanks, Alvin Bragg. Unless your name is Trump, they aren't concerned with crimes being committed by entitled illegals. Don't worry, they're using storage unit addresses to get them in too. So
we'll certainly.
City Council today, there were reports that they're meeting to figure out what to do with these young kids who came to our country illegally.
What?
Who were unaccompanied by a parent. They say we have like the highest population, one of the highest populations of unaccompanied migrants in this city. Is it easy for these gangs to recruit these kids?
Now I'm going to give you the big brain answer that you've been looking for. You fucking deport them. They've been given to the cartel to get across the border. Like, I don't give a fuck. The parents just gave their kids away to a cartel that could have possibly trafficked them into child sex work because they're as old as 11. What did you think was going to happen?
You look at the number one reason that individuals join any gang, and that's lack of family structure, right? So if an individual lacks family structure, they're certainly more vulnerable and easy to recruit, easier to join the gang.
Can they put them in foster homes rather than leave them in a shelter?
No fucking foster homes. Absolutely not. Deport them. That's it. Game over. They need to get them out of here. They hate Americans. They hate us. They hate everything about this country. The only reason they're here is to make as much money as they can and send it back home. And then by the time they've probably figured that they would be deported a long time ago, but they're not getting deported. So why stop committing crimes? So in the eventuality that they do get deported, by the time they get back there, all the money they've sent back there to their family, they'll be living like kings. They'll be rich. They're just taking advantage of the idiocy of the Biden and Harris administration.
Ha! Gay!
Why don't we put our homeless veterans that put their lives on the line for this country in some foster homes? Like, why is that? Why doesn't anyone think of that? Why is this like, they look at me like I'm retarded for saying that. Fuck these entitled, criminal, illegal aliens. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.